Logging into Plesk. This tutorial will show you how to log in to Plesk. Enter the URL to access Plesk. Plesk listens for HTTPS requests from the browser on port 8443, so you will need to have traffic allowed on that port through any firewalls that may be on your local machine or network. If your domain is still pointing to a different server, or your DNS changes have not propagated yet, you can use the IP address of the server instead of your domain. You may see a screen that looks similar to this. This is because Plesk uses a self-signed certificate to facilitate the encrypted connection, and it may not be generated for a different domain on the server. This is normal. Different browsers have different procedures for accepting self-signed and mismatched SSL certificates. Check your browser documentation for the procedure for accepting the certificate if necessary. Click the Continue to this website link. There are 4 main levels of access in Plesk. The first is the system admin. The system admin has full access in Plesk to all of the accounts on the server and all of the system processes running on the server. Let's log in first as the admin. Enter the login. Enter the password. Click the Login button. Since we are logged in as the system admin, we also have access to the server options under the System menu. Click the server link. Although it is usually not necessary, we can create other accounts with administrator-level access. This is also a security risk to grant administrator-level access to users, so it is recommended that you proceed with caution. Click the Edit icon. Disabling this option can keep you from logging in if there's an existing session still active for the user. Click the OK button to save any changes. The next level of access is the client. Although you can administer your domains when logged in as the admin, the domains are owned under a client account. Clients are used when you want to set up resellers with specific privileges on your server. Click the Clients link. Click the client name. Click the Edit icon. Here is the login that was set up for the client that owns our primary domain. Let's log out and then back in as that user. Click the Logout link. Click the OK button. Enter the login. Enter the password. Click the Login button. The client user will only have access to the options that pertain to the domains that are owned by that client and the specific privileges that were granted to that user by the system admin. Since we're now logged in as the client instead of the system admin, we no longer have access to the server options under the System menu. For more detailed information about client privileges, refer to the tutorial Managing Clients in Plesk. Click the Home link. Now let's find our primary domain. Click the domain name. The third level of access in Plesk, if you enable it, is a domain administrator. Domain administrators only have access to the options that pertain to their domain. Let's enable it and log in as the domain administrator for this domain. Click the Domain Administrator icon. Click the Allow Domain Administrator Access checkbox. Enter a new password. Enter the Confirm password. Scroll down. When enabling domain administration, you can select what specific permissions you want to allow the domain administrator to be able to access. Since this is our primary domain, we're going to enable all of the privileges. For more detailed information about domain management, refer to the tutorial Managing Domains in Plesk. Click the Select All link. Scroll down. Enter the personal name. Enter the company name. Enter the email address. Click the OK button. Next, let's log out and then back in as the domain administrator for this domain. Click the Logout link. Click the OK button. Enter the login. Domain administrators use the domain for the login. Enter the password. Click the Login button. Click the Home link. The final level of access is the mail user. Let's look at the mail accounts that are set up for this domain. Click the mail icon. There is currently one mail account set up. Let's take a closer look at it. Click the name. Since Control Panel access is enabled for this email account, let's log out and back in again as the mail user. For more detailed information about adding and configuring email accounts, refer to the tutorial Managing Email Accounts in Plesk. Click the Log Out link. Click the OK button. Enter the login. For email users, this is simply the email address. Enter the password. Click the Login button. The email user only has access to options that pertain to this email account. The email users can access webmail from Plesk by clicking this icon or access webmail directly via the URL. Let's log out and then into webmail directly. Click the Logout link. Click the OK button. Enter the address. We could have simply changed the URL without having to log out of Plesk. However, it is good practice to end by logging out of the control panel when you're finished, instead of just letting the session expire on its own. Select either POP3 server or IMAP server. This selects the protocol Horde will use to check the mailbox. For webmail, either can be used. Enter the username. Again, this will be the email address. Enter the password. Click the Login button. Congratulations, you now know how to log in to Plesk.